France prides itself on being at the forefront of defending human rights, but a report by Amnesty International says the country has fallen short in a number of domestic areas. One of them is ending police brutality. The report mentioned the unlawful police killing of a 17-year-old boy of Algerian descent last June. Nahel was fatally shot during a traffic stop at point-blank range. Nationwide protests and riots followed, with many denouncing impunity and systemic racism in French law enforcement. This feeds into what Amnesty International calls a failure to tackle institutional racism. In October, France's highest administrative authority acknowledged the practice of discriminatory police checks against black and Arab men and boys, but proposed no action. Meanwhile, the report slams what it calls excessive, disproportionate and illegitimate restrictions on protests. In October, after Hamas's attacks on Israel and the outbreak of the war in Gaza, French Interior Minister Gérald Darmanin ordered a ban on pro-Palestinian protests, citing potential public disorder. Amnesty International called it a disproportionate and discriminatory attack on the right to peaceful assembly. It also criticized excessive police force during demonstrations, including against the government's pension reform and an environmental protest in Sainte-Soline. Finally, the report labelled an immigration law passed in January as xenophobic and discriminatory. The legislation expands administrative powers to detain and expel foreign nationals deemed a threat to public order or for not having respected Republican values, regardless of residency status.